we're also trying to push and see like what else can we do to make those models a bit better. I actually have not been in a snow line, so I cannot comment on that.
Any other questions?
So where's the next discovery?
Very good question.
It's an excellent question, and I don't know if any of you is following the markets this year closely. Like we have not had a single one yet. To be honest, it's a terrible year. And there's also great prospects in portfolio in some companies, and you talk to them and they're like, no, we're not going to drill it because too risky. So we're just going to drill something that can produce a good result so we can raise capital. So I think we are in quite a difficult year where there's not much exciting exploration happening, to be honest. It's been a couple of interesting holes, maybe something comes out of them. I know there's few planned later this year. But Australia has been an incredible place over the last few years. If you actually look at this, the 4 years of exploration, if we plotted where the discoveries came from, I think half was Australia and 70% were Australian listed companies. So the Canadians in this room, you have to maybe look at what they are doing right. They've been a bit more aggressive in challenging some ideas and testing new targets. So.
I want to make a question. What do you think is what's the cause of the difference between such a difference between Canadians and Australia? Do you think it's the process or something?
I think one thing is funding. Like Australian market's been a bit easier to fund this year. Like there's more appetite for exploration. Also, when you look at the Australian market, like if you're an investor in Australia, most of your market is mining companies and explorers actually. So I feel people are actually more competent in understanding the sector. And I think maybe this is the funding that they receive more funds to test those ideas, to be honest.
Okay.
I have one as well, if I may ask, Joanna. Like, what's the most cost-effective exploration method? And especially you talk about funding. A lot of juniors have like maybe 2 million in the bank. What should they focus on?
If you have 2 million in the bank and you need to make
Or let's make it a million. Let's make it more challenging. Let's make it a million.
It's an incredible question. I will have to think better about that and maybe answer in one of your interviews, but it's an excellent question actually. But I think one of the things that is starting to happen, not just in the machine learning AI technology, is actually the hardware technology. So there's quite a bit of development in bringing seismic, like passive seismic, for instance, into mineral exploration, as well as one of the Middle East companies, they released those remote sort of robots that go and draw soil samples, and you can buy one of those for $500,000.
I saw one actually in Riyadh in January.
So you don't need geologists. In some terrains, you don't need geologists. You can send the robots, which is great, and you actually get real data measured from those drill holes. So it's sort of 20 meters depth. So I think there's a lot of innovation starting to happen, which will maybe optimize the process as well, because the ground process takes time. And what we see as well, it's access is turning more difficult. Like some of the projects in Australia that have quite interesting targets, they are waiting now months for the clearances to go in and drill in some of the native people territories. So that's not been easy.
Okay, we are running out of time.